Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Rayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Yes, friends, welcome. Our study of Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayana, Vaashishtha Ji's teachings through Bhagavan Rama to all the Adhyatmika sadhakas about the truth, the reality. It's a continuous, constant process to listen to that truth, for it to get registered in our bosom itself. Takes lot of time in general, particularly in this Kali Yuga, where so many things and projects are important, therefore occupy our heart. Wording of all of them, giving importance to this subject, this study, this text, this satsang itself is a colossal achievement. And in that, being continuous, regular. After which alone, the, the subject matter of this text starts appealing to us. After that appealing in sense, we start feeling what is being said. Then it is understood. Then its glory is understood. Then it is understood that this alone should be aimed at and achieved. So this is how every of us have to go through. May Lord Rama, Vaashishtha, the Gurus bless us through this text in this great endeavor. Right? Let us start. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo. Om Yerime Gurubhihi Purvam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Shruti Smriti Purananam. Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varanane. Om Brahmanandam Parama Sukhadam. Om Parambrahmane Shruti Matre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Acharyebhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Sri Vashishtha Vishwamitra Valmiki Vedavyasa Vamadeva Naradadi Sri Ramayana Mahashastranam Acharyebhyo Namaha. Sankalpaha Tesham Kripaya Upanishad Ramayanokta Brahmatmaikimodhen Asmin Kshaneiva Moksha Kaivalya Praptyartham Sanatana Dharmasya Vishwavyapti Vishwadhyatmika Pragatyartham Dharma Samsthapakanam Nirantara Digvijayartham Sri Rama Mandiravat Shiva Krishnadi Mandiradinam Punarvaptiteshu Nirantara Shastra Adhenadinam द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे तस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम अस्याम कक्षायाम आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्म दिग्विजयार्थम तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्र से पारायण अध्ययनम साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। शांति मंत्र। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ओम तस्मै श्री गुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। ओम विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम्। ओम तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतम गुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। ओम पूर्णानंद स्वभाव स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृत जलधिम् अमुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः ब्रह्म प्रतिपादनम। So Brahma Pratipadana is establishing that Brahman is there, Brahman alone is there. Everything is that alone. We have to realize that. है ना? So this Vedantic knowledge should be this way in a precise bullet form also, bullet points form also we must understand, and then in detail also. है ना? Like chai, how the tea is made. So the simple bullet form things are चाय चाय पत्ती चीनी दूध पानी से बनती, बस थोड़ा अदरक इलायची डालो, it gives taste flavor. This is a simple knowing of tea. Then the detailed knowing of tea is how the tea is made systematically. And for each different tastes, different ways of making are there, isn't it? So some people terribly boil the tea till that even chai patti is boiled burnt. They like that taste. Whether it is good, approved or not, medically, I don't know. They do. So एकदम उबालो पानी, फिर चाय पत्ती डालो, फिर पूरा उबल जाएगा, फिर अदरक का पानी या अदरक की कूट कर डालो, फिर उबलेगा, उसमें फिर दूध डालो, फिर उसको उबालो, then filter. This is details. Or boil the water, put the tea powder, close the lid for 2-3 minutes. Already boiled hot milk with chini, उसमें इसको filter करो. Lightest way of making tea. There are processes like so many. In the same way, Vedanta में भी this is what the few things. Then working out the details. While doing so, the intellect becomes sharper. It starts understanding. With this, the misunderstandings, no understandings, wrong understandings are removed. And the final understanding is what? Transcend all understandings and establish in the Brahman, in being the Brahman. There's nothing to be understood. I am Brahman, stay in that. बाद में पहले तो any number of doubts, questions come, processes are required to be known. For that intellectual satisfaction, this continuous process of studying that. Guru teaches, we also study, we contemplate. Right? So now we are into the 14th chapter, SARGA. Its name is Brahma Pratipadanam. That's the most heart of the whole Vedanta. Establishing the Brahman in our understanding. Brahman also already he is there, he alone is there. But we Buddhas, we have understood something else and something else as real other than Brahman. That misunderstanding is removed. So that is in our understanding the establishment of Brahman. So we have almost seen up to the mantra sankhya 41 or so. Okay, even then, mm, 35 onwards, we'll just browse through to come back to the topic which we are studying. How much ever you are able to catch, catch. If not, just keep listening. The words will enter into us, into our heart. One day the Tivra Jignasa to know them will be born. Again we approach this Guru or Shastras, and then we will pursue it more seriously, sincerely, diligently. Things will be revealed. सो वेदांत के शब्दों के परिचय से शुरू करते हुए वेदांत अनुभव से मोक्ष पाना, यहाँ तक हमें इस टेक्स्ट के द्वारा अचीव करना. If the highest is not achieved, at least the minimum. I am familiar with the word Brahman, with the word Jiva, with the word Maya, with the word Kalpana, with the word Adhisthana. देखो ये शब्द हम सुने. They are all vague to begin with. More and more suno, more and more clarity will come. And learn the art of sitting at one place and contemplating. Each of these will reveal their meanings. उसके बाद शब्द शब्द का बौद्धिक अर्थ not required. Like if I truly love you, so I love you, the word, and you try to translate it in your language, in your understand. इसकी क्या जरूरत है? I know I love you because you are so great or you are divine. What is the need of any shabd? I forgive you. That's an experience in me. That I know it's good to forgive always, to unload myself. And why should I send any negative thoughts through non-forgiveness to you and block your progress? मुझे नहीं करना. I know it. I have forgiven. Yes, you have done mistake. It is very evident that you did deliberately or foolishly. I don't know. But it was a mistake. I know Pakka. So what? I have forgiven. Oh, see that? It's an experience, na? So to every of these will become experience. मजा आएगा वो. And have patience. 35th मंत्र में भगवान says ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः. योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम चतुर्दश सर्गः ब्रह्म प्रतिपादनम. He says एवं एवं ब्रह्म महाजीवः विद्यतेऽन्तादिवर्जितः जीवकोटि महाकोटि भवत्यथ न किंचन. See, एवं in this way Brahma Mahajiva vidyate. The Brahman alone is there with his Maya Shakti. He is alone Mahajiva, whom we call as Ishvara, vidyate. And such both of them, Brahman and his Maya, through his Maya he alone as Ishvara, Anta Adi Varjita. It is endless, beginningless. It is always there. Then Jiva Koti Mahakoti. What about the Kotanukota Jivi, other beings? Bhavati Atha na kinchana. None of them there independent of that Brahman. In the form of Mahakoti Jiva Koti, that Brahman alone is playing. Therefore, reject, refuse to accept the presence of anything other than Brahman. Practice it. Then the differentiations in the world that go away. What we have to achieve is the undisturbed mind. With that mind, what is that Brahman? You inquire. You reach it. And thereafter, I experience it. I alone am transcendental. I alone am immanent. And I'm like a individual person in his in his house. He alone is there, seated at one place. And when he has to express, he alone expresses as person buying the groceries, person cooking, serving, eating, cleaning the vessels, cleaning the house. एक ही बंदा इतना करता हुआ इतना बन रहा है. Expand it into infinite level में I am there as one Brahman. Myself only playing one solo game of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, everything. That is final. It is experienced. There is nothing other than me as Brahman or Ishwara or anyone. Differences will be only for play with my own Shakti. Okay. Then Chaitya Samvedanat Jivaha Bhavati Ayati Samsrutim Tad Asamvedanat Rupam Samayati Samam Punaha. So Chaitya Samvedanat. So hmm, Jivaha Bhavati Ayati. So Chiti is consciousness. Chaitya is something illuminated by that consciousness. Okay. This conscious Paramatma, with his inherent power, projects as if there is something to be illumined. When that illumined is illuminated by the consciousness, without stopping there, it gets identified also with it. Then he is called Jiva. Once he falls to that identity with the Kalpita Chaitya, which are called Upadhis, he falls to the level of Jiva Bhava. Then the Raga Dvesha, Karma Phala, Janma Marana Samsara continues. That's what he says. Chaitya Samvedanat Jivaha Bhavati. Then Ayati Samsruti. Enters into samsara. Tad Asamvedanat, if he transcends the recognition of something other than him, just like sleep but not sleep. At that time, Rupam Samayati Punaha Samam Rupam. He goes back to his own essential self. Is equal to, therefore there is no samsara. Not at all difficult. Like Nidra mein, I am not aware of Jagra Swapna, Jagats and my Stula Sukshma Upadhis. That is why there is no samsara. The moment I identify with my Sukshma Sharira, Swapna Jagat, Stula Sharira, Jagrat Jagat, then I become Swapna Purusha, here the Jagrat Purusha, that is called Jiva now. Some Ayati Jiva, then Ayati Samsrutim. Jiva Bhavati Samsrutim Ayati. You know? Now instead of Nidra, of total nascence, ignorance, stupor, slumber, you know, what remember our antakarana goes into laya, that is nidravastha. Our antakarana dissolves in the recognition of conscious self is brahma prapti, brahmanubhuti. That's the thing. Every day my chitta is entering into nidravastha of ignorance, where I don't know myself, I don't know the world. Instead of that, if this chitta doesn't know the world, instead of that, in trying to know who is this conscious self, when it merges in that conscious self and that conscious self is experienced continuously as I am, that is a Brahmanavod. When that is achieved, there is no samsara. That's what it says. That asamvedanat means when the chaitya samvedana is given up. Means knowing there is something other than me, the upadhis, identifying with them with ahanta and mamata, and through the upadhis recognizing the world of shabda sparsha, and then liking some, disliking some, and then whatever I like, I try to pursue. Whatever I don't like, I give it up. All of that and I give up. Already Ramji has done this. Therefore, this thing is specially not taught to him. Which in our Vedanta college, Viveka Vairagya. वो सब हो चुके हैं राम जी को इसलिए वशिष्ठ जी doesn't take special extra efforts classes. Rama himself in the Vairagya Prakarana showed that he has got all that. But we need it. We need Viveka Vairagya through which We discard the world, by which we discard also our upadhi tadatmya. Then whole Chaitya Samvedana is given up. Chaitya Samvedana means knowing something other than me, the self. When all that known is given up, Chaitya, which is mentioned here as Tad Asamvedanat, Rupam Samayati Samam. That Sama, Brahma, Rupa, Samyak Ayati, he, the Jiva, again gets back into. That's called moksha. सिंपल भाई, अब मैं जीव हूं, मुझे मेरे उपाधियों से तादाद में है, उसके द्वारा जगत से संबंध. So when I give up संबंध of राग द्वेष और ममता with the jagat and उपाधि से हमता मैं छोड़ दूं, when मैंने give up, then when I focus on myself, I realize the self. In that there is no jiva bhava, there is no samsara. In the process, tentatively, yeah, it never happened, but because we are seeing the world, we ask the question, we are answered. That the self with its Shakti projected something other than itself and it established its identity with that. Then it became Jiva. So I recognize my power of making a drawing. Then I used the power and made a drawing. Then I owned that drawing now. This owner of the drawing, the claimer that I have done the paint, he is called Jiva. So I, with my Shakti, made a painting and had developed the Mamata with that object and Ahamta with that Kruti. Aham Karta Asmi of that painting and the painting Mama Asti. This is called Jiva. Explain that way every moment we are living the Jiva Bhava. When all of that is given up, Tada Samvedana, remain only in your self. That is called as Samayati Samam Rupam. Puna. Okay, even in this way, Kanishta Jivanam, of all the Jivas with the lower Upadhi Tadatmya right now, Jeshta Jiva Krama or Akramai. By expanding their Upadhis and reaching up to the Brahmadeva, and from there, this Brahmadeva Samashti Upadhi also given up, then he becomes Nirupadik Brahman. This is called as Jeshta Jiva Krama Rupena Moksha. Akrama Rupena Moksha is what? Whichever the level of Jiva Bhava is there now with whatever Upadhi, he is not worried about expanding the Upadhis to higher and higher level. He just detaches from the Upadhis right now only and gets established with the self. That's called Akrama, means no need to slowly evolve in the Upadhis. Give up the Upadhi, realize the self. Is always there more predominantly this opportunity for the human beings or the from human beings to the here. पशुवादियों को बुद्धि ये सब नहीं होने के कारण उनमें मौका कम होता है उपाधि तादाद में छोड़कर निरुपाधि ब्रह्म से एक होने का. But for the human beings, he can study the Upanishads, he can have the Siddhanta Jnana about Brahma and its Swarupa. We can, through various Bahiranga, Antaranga sadhanas, detach from the Upadhi, then he can establish in Brahman. It's called Akrama. No need to go through Krama Mukti. From here, straight. As we told you the other day, some prefer this. That's how their choice, you can't question. Others say, this is our goal, no doubt, but we want to go through all other lokas also. Jayse when you go to a picnic or pilgrimage with 10 people. 1, 2, 3, each 5 out among them, 3, 4 ऐसे होते हैं भाई सीधा मेन टेम्पल देखे दर्शन करे आ जाए. Some feel like that. Others say, go, जाना तो टेम्पल ही है. But we'll see the Upalayas also. We see the other beautiful scenes also. We do some shopping also. And then we go. The first one is Akrama Mukta. Straight go to temple, darshan, ghar aa jao bas. The second one is Krama. You want to say karte, you want to go to temple. ऐसे हैं लोग, है ना? Mm. That's how, why, who is what, we can't say. Apna choice. Like shopping also. Somebody wants dress. He just 1 minute, what he wants, he finds in the particular shop, goes, just selects it, pack karo, stands in the counter, Abhishek delivered there, kitna हुआ इतना, scan, paid, came. क्रम, it's not sadhyo mukti. He goes home, पहन के घूमने भी गया वो नया. The other fellow goes to 100 shops, color of the cloth, quality of the cloth, cost, and then designing, and then which occasion it has to be. Go to the trial room, wear and come, and ask 10 people, कपड़ा ठीक है क्या, कपड़ा ठीक है क्या, कपड़ा ठीक है, तू ठीक नहीं है. He goes on, change. Then in the 292nd shop, he will buy the same thing which he saw in the first shop. It is called as Krama Mukti. Don't you see the people like that in this world? Anything, car kharid. My family is small. The travel I do is this much distance. Capacity of the car, this much. Budget, this much. Pay him. Or big family, more money. So get an 8 seater, no problem. खत्म 2 मिनट में करे. दूसरा वाला 10 चीज देख के फिर फाइनली सेलेक्ट स्कूटर एंड कम. Isn't it? I am just telling krama akrama rupena, the jiva, either through becoming Maha jiva, he realizes Brahman and gets moksha, or akrama, from here only by detaching from the upadhis, he can realize. That's what is. Evam kanishta jivanam jeshta jiva krama akramaihi samudeti atma jivatvam. Our samudeti means samyak udeti. Very nicely arises that Atma Jivatvam. I am not the Jiva, I am the Atman that experience. Right? Now, about the whole world. Atrantare Mahakashe Ittam Esha Ganopi Asan Swatmaiva Sadivodeti Chichamatkaranatmakaha. Atra, in this topic now, another thing I am explaining. Antare Mahakashe, in that inner Maha Akash. The Maha in terms of its pervasiveness, Maha in terms of its subtlety. The subtlemost, all pervading Chidakasha can be understood as the word Mahakasha said here. It is in me only. In that in me Antara Akasha, which is Mahakasha, Eshaha Ganaha, these Jiva Ganas or these Jagat Ganas, Asan, they are basically not there actually. So Atma eva sadiva udit. But the self alone, as if in the form of those entire Jiva Ganas, Jagat Ganas, it appears. And how? Chit Chamat Karana Atmakaha. This Chit, the Paramatma Tattva only, Chamat Karana Atmakaha, whose nature is to do the Chamatkara. By doing that Chamatkara with its Maya Shakti, it appears to be the Jiva Koti Gana and the Jagat Koti Gana. That is called, it is Chamatkara. Somewhere it called Chidvilasa, another is called as Maya Vilasa, it is called Atma Vilasa, the Brahma Vilasa. Here a new word we are getting familiar with, it's called a Chit Chamatkar. Jadu. चित स्वरूप पर ब्रह्म का जादू छड़ी है कि even though it is not there, the Jiva Koti with their upadhis, their kriyas, their phala, and the samsara, for that they go to different lokas and there they go through all experiences. They are never there, but they are all the chit, which is chamatkaratmakaha, by that it is all projected. See that because of our listening to Upanishad for a long time, at least little bit we are able to grasp. May not be fully believing and accepting. All of that happens when I start doing contemplation meditation. When I actually realize it, then I will know it. What is said, it is absolutely true. But at least what is the subject of Vedanta, we are able to little grasp. That's the result of our so many years of tapasya of trying to listen. Continue it and also start the internal contemplation. Imagine if you do this for next 20 years. Do it single pointedly, exclusively, without polluting this sadhana effort with again any sort of worldliness. अब देखो ये extra cares करके extra effort लगातार करे तो where we reach now, to that reach stage also we'll reach later, the ultimate stage. I am the self, it is my chamatkara that the entire Jiva Koti Gana, Jagat Koti Gana are projected. See that? Isn't it? How nice it is. May Vashishtha Bhagwan, Rama Bhagwan, through this text, make us understand these sublime things. May we have that patience, perseverance, and that commitment. May we try to have them. May us be in that company which inspires us for this rather than in that company which instigates, influences us to be worldly, to be forgetting this Adhyatmikata. May we come to a level of our own internal inner personal maturity to become aware every moment that this company, this involvement takes me away from the truth, reality, spirituality. I will avoid it consciously. And these are the companies and involvements which enrich, empower me in these inner, deeper spiritual insights. I will be in this company by my choice. Is it not? When we evolve to that level and all the time choose to be in that company which informs us more and more about Paramatma Tattva, and we fully avoid other one consciously, deliberately by our choice. Like we avoid some of our relatives because we know they are very nagging. यार इसके घर मत जाओ, इससे बात पर कोई पार्टी में भी दिखता है तो दूर से वो करके चले जाते, आई नो उससे बैठेंगे 1 घंटा खाएगा. The other one, very dignified, sober. He asks, how are you and any help you need. And in his presence and in his talk, so much of sublime, intelligent things, informations are gathered. Are you not in that company? उसको जानबूझकर अवॉइड करते. इनको जानबूझकर इनके साथ जाकर बैठ. वो आना चाहता है फिर भी we avoid him. This person doesn't say no, but we have to put effort to be in his company. In the same way, we have to reach to that level. कि this is what makes me forget my Atma Tattva. I will not go towards that. This is what makes me slowly establish in Atma Tattva. I'll be always in this company. And even after establishing in that self also, when we know it is mithya and it is binding, why should we go for it? आएगा ये बात धीरे, ये इसमें नहीं है. We have just added extra. Okay, now अत्र अंतरे महाकाशे इत्थम एषः गणः अपि असन् स्वात्मा एव सदिव उदेति चित् चमत्करण आत्मा. चित् स्वरूप आत्मा only whose nature is चमत्कार करना, वही as a this entire जीव कोटि गण with उपाधि and जगत कोटि गण रूप में in this हृदय आकाश में ही ये सब कल्पित हो रहा. Now remember, in this kalpita jagat, one set is this dehadi. By extreme excessive attachment with this dehadi, we feel we are inside it. Therefore, the whole world looks to be outside or other than. Like whether I am inside the room or outside the room. Generally, though, I am in the total space. But because I made a walls, now I call it as a room, a hall. Then I say from the standpoint of the walls that I am inside the room and or I am not outside. Or I say I am outside. Whether I am inside or outside, I am in the total space only or not. In the same way, I am the whole world is projected in me. But do you feel it me? Do I feel it right now? No. I see the world other than me. Other than me, which me? That me which is identified with this body. Therefore, The extreme identification of the body is distinguishing or separating the world to be other than me. Otherwise, along with this body, the entire world is the contents in my own conscious self. Conscious self is projecting them, illuminating them, means visualizing them, including this. But with this, we identify. Therefore, the other world appears to be outside to me, other than. Think. That's why when we wake up from the dream world and me, both are in me only, I know. But in the dream, don't I see the world is other than me? Why? In the dream, I identify the dream body. Therefore, the world is other than me. But when I wake up, the dream world, the dream me, and that dream me because of the dream body. The dream body also is in me only. Think about it. This is the shloka. अत्र अंतरे महाकाशे इत्थम एषा गणाभि असन स्वात्मा एव सदिवो देति चिच्चमत्करणात्मक. Okay, so the two things that are so far touched recently in the topic is, if one jiva is wishing or desiring, why not it is not the other jivas? Answer to this is what? So many jivas are not there, it's only one Ishvara, therefore always Ishvara's will only functions. So whenever we are successful, that means our wish and will was in line with the Ishvara will. Whenever we were failure, our will and wish was against that of Ishvara, therefore we failed. Finally, what prevails is his will. This is one thing. Second is what? I alone am there in me, all the Jiva Koti Mahakoti, never there, but Kalpit. All these things in the beginning, appear to be vague, appear to be of different world, appear to be redundant, not required. And in this way only, millions of people, even though they get opportunity, they leave it and go. Among them, those who feel somewhat interested in this and continue, slowly their understandings grow. They know what is real, what is unreal, what is substratum, what is projected. वो धीरे धीरे उनको वो ज्ञान आ जाता है. We are in that path. Continue this, then the understanding is more deeper. Okay. Next, go to the shloka. Swayameva chamatkaraha yaha samapadyate chitaha bhavishyanama dehadi tadaham bhavanam viduhu. देखो, the three stages. First is chita. Then chit becomes aware of itself, aham bhava. Then its power, shakti. Then from that shakti only, bhavishyat nama deha. And with each namadeha again as if different aham. See, swayameva chitaha chamatkaraya samapadyate. Chitaha chamatkaraya samapadyate. Chita, when it activates its own chamatkara shakti, that चित्त alone स्वयमेव भविष्यत नामदेहादि आगे आने वाला नामदेह के रूप में वो प्रोजेक्ट होता है. Before expressing as namadeha, that stage where it is aware of its potentiality, to project so many namadeha, it's called aham bhava. So I am conscious of myself and conscious of my power. With that power, I project so many rupa nama. With each Rupanama, when I identify, I as if appear to be many. That is called as the samsara of many jivas and many of the Rupanama and the play that's going on. बस एक बार इंटरेस्ट होकर इस नॉलेज को पाने में कोशिश करें ना, then the whole orientation changes of the life. We are no more bound. May this knowledge sink into us before we sink into the samsara because of our stinking ignorance and stupidity. ये परमात्मा इस ज्ञान सागर में आत्मानुभव में ब्रह्म आनंद में हमको डुबाओ. That's we accept, not in the samsara of total ignorance and projections and giving reality to projection and getting lost in the upadhis and all. भाई ये तो इतना गड़बड़ वाला है, हमको बाहर आना है. You should feel that जब घना जंगल में फंसे रहते, or we are caught up in a hot Registan or highly traffic jamming place, you know, how do you feel like coming out of it? Or heavy floods and rains and you are caught up on the road and you want to come home. We should feel with this world and ignorance like that and feel like that we get out of this nonsense and be in the clarity of knowledge and wisdom, knowledge, theoretical wisdom experience of the reality that I am and all that is me. चितो यस्मात् चिदालेहः तन्मयत्वादनन्तकः स एष भुवना भोगः इति तस्यां प्रतिबिम्बति. Chit is pure consciousness. Chit abhasa is that pure consciousness becoming aware of itself, called here as aham bhava. The moment that aham feeling comes in the chitta, it becomes aware of its own power also. Okay. So the ahamless pure awareness itself becomes aware of aham. Immediately it becomes chidabhas. Okay. चित्त को चिदाभास क्या बनाता है? The feeling of aham. Immediately the aham cannot be without my power. Immediately the power is remembered. And when one realizes it is power, will he be without using it? See the terrible thing that, when car में चलते हैं ना, even the drive कर रहा है. If all other three do not know driving, there's no tension at all. अब जो बाकी को भी ड्राइविंग आता है ना, वो जो चलाता है ना, उसको देखकर उसको इतने कन्फ्यूजन होते हैं, इतना एजुकेट करते जाते हैं टिल दे आर गिवन दैट दे कैन नॉट सिट आइडली. हमको भी चलाने दो बिकॉज दे नो इट एंड द अदर्स इफ दे डू नॉट नो, इसे चलाते जाओ, वी सिट एंड एंजॉय. इन द सेम वे व्हेन आई बिकम अवेयर ऑफ माय पावर, आई कैन नॉट बट यूज इट. सो द प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस इज चित. That consciousness becoming aware of itself is Chidabhas. That I consciousness now Chidabhas. Becoming aware of its infinite power. Now is Ishvara. No, Ishvara cannot sit idle without doing Srishti Sthiti Laya. क्योंकि पावर याद आ गया. This is what is Chita Yasma Chidaleha Tanmayatvad Anantakaha. So that Chita, that Chidavasa, both being one, they are Ananta. Sa Eshaha Bhuvana Bhogaha iti tasyam prabimbati. The entire Bhuvana is now projected, reflected in that Chidabhasa only. Because that Chidabhasa aware of its Chamatkara Shakti. With its Chamatkara Shakti, when it has projected so many, it also does that gustaki of identifying with that. Then, with that identification, the Jiva Bhava arises. That Jiva now through Kartrutva, Karma and Karma Phala, leading to Janma Marana and Sukha Dukkha, goes on going on through samsara. That is you and I. And you and I now have to realize our that essential self. That's called this reverse journey. From now becoming and suffering jiva to the being the self in which there is no suffering, no samsara. And all of this is, remember, mostly in ajnana, little in kriya. And through some kriyas of karma yogari, some antakarana shuddhi required is gained, ashuddhi is removed. Thereafter, there is nothing to do, only to know and establish in that knowledge. है ना. अंतःकरण को शांत करने तक के लिए हमें कुछ करना पड़ता है. वंस अंतःकरण is शांत शुद्ध, there is nothing to karo, just to know and establish in that knowledge. Know I am Brahman, establish in that Brahma sthiti. Know I am Sakshi, establish in being the Sakshi. कुछ नहीं करना, बस remain you are मुक्त. मुक्ति के लिए कुछ नहीं करना होता है, जो करते हैं वो सब छोड़ना होता है बिकॉज वी आर ऑलरेडी मुक्ता. Even this knowledge when reveals, there is a delight. Right, friends? This parinama vikaradi shabdaihi saivachitavyaya tadrugrupada bhedyapi swashaktiva vibhudyate. See, avyaya chit. Basically this. The chit is avyaya. Unmodifiable, undifferentiable, undividable, undecayable, and unending or undying. Chit is avyaya. Yet, parinama vikaradi shabdaihi. Wow, what a beautiful, deep Vedanta, which I will understand after 10 janmas. Not you, you already know. Very tough. See, avyaya chid only, the immutable chit swarupa only, parinama vikaradi shabdaihi. Only mere by the shabdas only, that it is parinata, that it is vikruta, that tadrug rupad abhedyapi. Even though there is no thing other than the chit, nothing is other than it, yet abhedyapi swashaktya eva. By its own shakti vibudhyate, it is known to be as if separate. Right? Like the mud is parinata and vikruta, and it became pot. Mud is parinata modified, vikruta modified. Then it became pot. So mud became pot because of the mud gone through parinama and vikara. But mind you, mud never got parinata. Mud never got vikruta. Sorry, mud never got vikruta. है ना? If the mud को परिणाम हुआ विकार हुआ, so in the pot then mud should not be there, na? If the mud got modified, it got changed. If it is modified and changed, it should not be in the pot. If it is there in the pot, the same mud which was there earlier, that means it has not got through the parinama and vikara. Then where is the parinama and vikara in the mud for it to appear as a pot? Only in the Shabdana. That is a famous Chandogya Upanishad mantra. Here, Vaashishtha ji is quoting. That famous shloka. You know, what he says? Mrityiketyeva satyam. है ना? केवल नाम only vikara. है ना? In the mud, only the vikara is in the nama. Nothing is changed. Always mud alone is there. Mrityika eva ityeva satyam. That famous quotation of Chandogya, here Vasishtha is referring here in his language. When he said, Parinama vikaradi shabdaihi sa eva chid aveya chid tadrugrupadavendyapi swashaktya eva vibhudyat. That is its deluding power. That without itself going through any modification vikara, yet by mere shabdas, the vikara is apadita. We use the word, the gold became ornament. Gold got modified to become ornament. If the gold gets modified or changed or vikruta, it should not be again in the ornament. The same pure 22 or 24 carat gold is very much, if it is there in the ornament too, then did the gold go through any modification? No. Then where is the modification? Only in your mouth, in your shabda. Mrudeva satyam. विकारो नामधेयम मृत्युकेत्येव satyam. Only vikara is in the nama only. Mritika was in the beginning. Mritika is now when the pots broken, then also the mrittika alone. Mrudeva satyam paramartha. If the example is understood in the same way, Brahman alone was, Brahman alone is, Brahman alone will be. In him, the vikara is only in our Shabda. The power of that Shabda is such much that the Nirvikara Brahma is attributed to have gone through Vikara, and therefore now it is appearing as the entire world. शब्द का ये शक्ति है जो माया का विलास. वाह, थिंक अबाउट इट. इसलिए अविच्छिन्न विलासात्मा सतः यत् स्वदनं चितः चैत्यस्य च प्रकाशस्य जगदित्येव तत्स्थितम्. So what is there is only pure consciousness. With its infinite power, when the Chaitya is projected only, the self without being modified. That projected Chaitya, when it's illumined, when given the status of existence, that is called the entire world. That's what is said here. Avichinna vilasa atma satah yatsu aswadanam chitah chetyasya cha prakashasya jagadityeva tatsitam. And that which does all this scale is the power of Paramatma by his own chavi. आकाशादपि सूक्ष्म एषा या शक्ति ही वितता चितः सा स्वभावतः एव एताम अहंताम परिपश्यति. So that infinite power in Paramatma only sees that ahamta or chidavasa in Paramatma makes. And then that ahamta in Paramatma now uses this chitta shakti, this his own maya shakti, this chamatkara shakti, with which the whole sattvic, rajasic, tamasic projection, which we call as creation, is projected, which we call as created. बस हमको ना till that impurities are there in us, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha are there in us, variety of prarabdhas are there in us, so many of the runas we have to clear, they are in us. How much ever we rotate around this Vedantic thought to understand, the understanding won't happen. But we should not give up that effort to understand. While putting that effort in the other life of ours, other time, when we through upasanas, through pujas, pray to the infinite power Paramatma to remove the cover of Maya. So too we exhaust our vasanas, samskaras through karma yoga and don't create the new ones. As these said sadhanas, shastrokta sadhanas, they are called. When we do them, then those inabilities, disqualifications go, abilities, qualifications come. Then what we are trying to understand through this study of Upanishads for such a long time, suddenly it starts revealing. Like for any scientist. उसको पता ही नहीं चलता वो कौन सा मेडिसिन यूज करे इस बीमारी के लिए. वो ढूंढता in his effort only when he gains that concentration, suddenly it clicks to him at that moment. Oh, this one. Any electrical, mechanical, medical, कुछ भी न्यू इन्वेंशंस होते हैं ऐसे ही होते. So to the spiritual revelation to every individual, you and I. And once it clicks and we start getting established in it, we see the world in a different way. All the ignorance and delusion, born a variety of our relating with the worlds, all of them appear are found to be pithless, meaningless, useless, murkha. Like this fellow is friend, this fellow is enemy. We live life like that because he helped me and or he cheated me. When that self is understood, who can be enemy, who can be a friend is nobody other than me. The whole being is an upadhi covering the self, which is me. The upadhis also are me. Then, but he has cheated. Whom he has cheated? There's nobody to be cheated. I am not there as a jiva to be cheated by anyone. And even little purity comes, then I know I am not an ego. Then how can anybody insult me? It is somebody maybe finding mistakes in my behavior or doing. I will correct it. Why should I take it as insult? So too, I tell somebody to do so, they don't do. I won't take it any ego. I understand it was suggestion given, not welcomed by that. How does it matter? We stop making things as issues. There's no issue in the world when the Vedanta is understood. इन हायर लेवल में इवन टेलिंग रेक्टिफाइंग टीचिंग ये भी नहीं रहता कोई लीला वाचिंग एक चोर चोरी कर रहा है लीला चल रहा है सब ही विल नॉट इंटरफियर इन द हैपनिंग्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ही विल वॉच इट एज ए तमाशा ये डिफरेंट वेस है आगे पता चलता रहेगा A beautiful shlokas will come up from 42 study tomorrow om shanti 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 hari om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you for your patience. Now, in Yoga Vasishtha, sorry, in Adi Shankara's Granthas, 29 Granthas we studied. Today, 30th Yoga Taravali, we will start, which is very tough to me. I never studied the yoga, but because it has come in the sequence, we'll just browse through it. And that we only studying sadhanas of yoga can be done only in the presence of the yoga master guru. Here we are not talking only physical asana yukta yoga. Let us see what Adi Shankara says. Come, let's try.